How you doing? I'm Marty Ross. This is it. That's after me. You can go home. Don't be so freaking excited about leaving. Nice hat. So I'm Marty Ross. I turned 79 in November. Thank you. Which I consider myself to be very lucky now, because I don't know if you know this, but life expectancy for a man in this country is 78 years and 7 months, which meant I had until June. So technically, I'm expired. I have an 18-year-old grandson.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't anything except getting started. I have an 18-year-old grandson who just graduated high school, and parents know what that means. Now he knows everything. And he's like, Grandpa, you know, I'm sure in your day you knew stuff, but dude, it's 2019, you don't know how anything works. And I'm like, really? Do you know how to please a woman? He said, no, but you have 3 ex-wives, so either do you. But he's right about one thing. I don't understand technology. I suck at it. I mean, I'm old school. I remember when a phone was a phone. Anyone remember that? It was attached to a wall. You could only walk as far as the cord would let you. Now freaking everything's a phone. I don't know what's a phone. I don't know what's not. All I know, I'm trying to call my daughter the other day. I'm punching in her number, nothing happened, so I gave up. Little while later, my neighbor called. He said, you realize that for the last half hour your garage door's been going up and down? I also have an 8-year-old grandson. And he's such a, what's the word I'm looking for? Dick. We're playing checkers the other day, and looks up at me and said, you're going down, bald man. And then he said, Grandpa, if you die while we're playing, I win. But then on the other side, I have a 15-year-old granddaughter, completely different. I was giving her a driving lesson last Saturday. Everything was going great till we came around a turn, hopped the curb and hit a tree. She's sitting there with tears just streaming down her face, and she said, Grandpa, now can I please drive? My mother is 101. Yeah, wow. She can't hear, so don't waste your energy. Save it for the end of the show. I'll tell her you really liked her. Do you guys want to know our secret for long life? We don't die. No, we keep shrinking till we just disappear. I went to visit my mother in the nursing home. You know the problem when you go to a nursing home when you look like me? Exactly, they wouldn't let me out. The only reason I'm here tonight is I had to get a night pass from the front desk. You want to know humiliating? My mother had to sign it. How many of you people know what goes on in these places? Yeah, you know. Got all these old ladies just looking for a guy whose equipment still works. right? This is how I found out. I'm walking down the hall one day, an arm comes out of a doorway. This woman grabs me, she pulls me into the room. The next thing I know, I'm crocheted to the bed. And for any of you who are planning to get old, let me just tell you one thing now. When you get old, you find out young people hate old people. And before you politically correct young people, let me just tell you something. Have you ever driven behind an old person? Have you ever driven behind me? Because I don't know how this happened. I guess it happens to all old people at some point. I was driving along, I looked down at my dashboard, I'm going 6. And I'm thinking, I better slow down. Well, the next thing I know, I start sinking into my seat as my hands go up like this on the steering wheel. Look familiar, folks? Yes. Hold on. How about now? Yeah, I guess you know that guy. And then the next thing that happens, I notice I have both turn signals on. And I'm thinking I should probably let them know which way I'm going, but this little voice in my head said, screw them, let them figure it out. Well, I'm feeling very empowered when a cop pulls me over, gets on his loudspeaker and says, will you please pull over? I'm getting tired of walking next to your car. Okay. I've had a lot of jobs because that's what happens when you get old. You know, and the worst part, by the way, for getting jobs when you get old is you find out employers do not want to hire old people. They give you the most bull crap reasons, like you're not qualified in this field. You're drooling on your shoes. I'm over here. No, over here. So I had to find jobs myself. Let me tell you my favorite job. I was a school crossing guard. Little kids would come up and they go, mister, is it okay to cross now? And I'd be like, hey kid, give it your best shot. And even now, I found this job, it's paying some real good bucks, jumping out of caskets at surprise parties. Well, if you want to find out how it works when you start to get old, first you start to age, you start to shrink, you start losing body weight, you become frail. Let me tell you, I'm driving along at 5 miles an hour, I hit a speed bump, flew out of the car. I landed in some lady's lawn while she's having a yard sale. And someone tried to buy me for $2. They thought I was a lawn gnome. I realized, I've never been able to hear well, but now it's ridiculous. I was at a party a few days ago and I'm talking to this attractive woman and she tells me she has a peanut allergy. I misheard the word. I said, well, what happened? She said, I start choking and gagging. So I said, maybe you need a smaller one. And she said, size doesn't matter. And I said, yes, it does. I said, what did your doctor say? She said, my doctor said I need to build up a tolerance. So naturally I said, well, then I'm your man. Keep going, I'm running out of steam. You are good looking. Ever consider going out with a very old person who has no money? How about you, sweetheart? All right, we'll talk later. But I want to tell you, I am single, but now I know exactly what I'm looking for in a woman. And if this is any of you, meet me after the show. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a woman who makes poor choices. That's you? Happy birthday, baby. No more jokes, sit there. I don't like string beans. What if I just stand here like this for another 15 minutes? It's what old people do anyway. No idea what we're doing. So the one thing, if you ever want to try this, get old and try and date. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know where to find women anymore. I know I can't go to bars and clubs. That's where you young people hang out. And funerals are hit or miss. Am I supposed to hang out at the Rite Aid prescription department? Hit on these little oldies. Hey, come back to my place. Let's slam down some prune juice with your heart medication. So I'm banging this little old lady. And the most amazing thing happened. Do you know sparks flew? Yeah, well, that's when her hip replacement rubbed across the metal plate in my head. Is this a visual you didn't really need? Good. I know I complain about being old, but I will tell you, when you get old, you find out there's one really good thing. Now when I go to get my teeth cleaned, I just drop them off. I'm also pretty proud of this. I was in a senior 10K and I won. Hold it. I didn't actually come in first. I was just the only one strong enough to break the tape at the finish line. I did something on my bucket list. Maybe some of you have done this. I went skydiving. Yeah, nobody? Just me? I was terrified, just to let you know. In fact, if any of you in the Santa Barbara area 2 weeks ago, Tuesday, around 2:30, that wasn't bird crap. And here's another reason for young people to hate old people. If you've gone to the airport lately, you may discover at TSA there's a sign. It says if you're 75 or older, you don't have to take off your shoes. I found out it's not for safety reasons. Turns out that the TSA agents would rather be blown up than smell old people's feet. And there is one thing that bothers me. Well, that isn't it. What bothers me is the fact that terrorism is still going on and nobody has a solution. I figured it out. I'm gonna kill myself. And when I get to heaven, I'm gonna knock up all their virgins. How do you think they're gonna feel when they find out an elderly Jewish man got there first? You mean I should have ended on that? Oh, keep going. Oh, she said keep going, and you're the teacher, and you... Oh. Obviously, these are my friends in the front because they don't know where they are either. Dating is hard, as I mentioned before, and I did find a dating website for old people called 52 Shades of Gray Hair. It's quite interesting because I found this woman, and it had her positive and negative attributes. Under positive, it said hot, young-looking, beautiful, blonde, amazing body, willing to try any and all sexual fantasies. Under negative, just one, dead. But as a guy, I think I'm gonna call. The other thing I want to tell you is I know I complain about things, but honestly, my life is fantastic. Last Saturday night, I made love to 3 women all night long. No, wait. It was 2 women. No, I had soup. And I think now that we're all friends, I can say this and you won't judge me. I just had my sperm count checked. Notice the quietness? The doctor gave me the results. He said in a 20-year-old man, they have 107 million sperm. In a 50-year-old man, they have between 5 and 6 million. He said, you're more in the 3 to 4 range. I said, million? He said, no, 3 or 4. I said, Doc, that's awful. Is there anything I can do? He said, well, you have so few, you can name them. Thank you very much. And I just want to thank everybody that performed here tonight. Or you can thank them for me. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm going home. I'm exhausted. You want to tell me where I parked my car?